You guys should finish your chapter of A Man Called Ove and have already found your 3 words. And now you're going to answer a couple of short answer questions about what you've read. Think back all the way to the very beginning of the year when we answered some of these questions, and these are the kinds of constructed responses that you're going to have to do on the iStep in just a few weeks. So it's really important that you guys take these seriously and think about not just the thinking that you're trying to show, but also how are you wording this answer to make sure that the reader can read just what you have and understand exactly what your thoughts are. So I'm going to teach you guys a little trick to help remember everything that you need to know for a short answer question that's a race. Whenever you have a short answer, you want to race, and that does not mean go fast. You need to first restate the question, and that doesn't mean actually type out the question with a question mark at the end, but instead remove the question word and then use the rest of the sentence for your answer, which leads you to A. You have to give your answer. So, for example, your first question that you're going to be answering is to explain how Ove's interactions with people change as the story advances. Now, again, it's not technically a question, but still, to restate this part, I would say Ove's interactions with interaction, I guess it doesn't matter if it's singular or plural, with people change is, that's what matters. Because, or I could say Ove's interchanges when, or somehow I need to lead into them what my answer is going to be. And make sure if you're trying to show a change, you have to show before and after. It doesn't help if you just tell me how he is at the end of the story if I don't know how he was at the beginning. So you're going to have 2 parts to this question in your answering. Describe how he started, describe how he ended. That shows the change. Okay, so once you have answered the question with at least a sentence, you're going to need to cite your evidence. And this means probably using some quotes, but definitely at least minimum paraphrasing specific examples. Just because you're talking about the story doesn't mean that it's evidence. You have to point to something specific in the story, and that's why I do really encourage you guys to use quotes for that. So maybe find a quote for how he is at the beginning, and then find a quote for how he is at the end. And the last thing that you do to finish your erase is to explain your answer with the evidence. Do not assume that your reader looks at that evidence and sees what the change is. You have to do the thinking and the explaining. That's what I am assessing you for, is can you show me your thoughts with this? I do not want to have to do the thinking myself. When you're writing a commentary or you're writing a poem, then you might try to get your reader to think about something. When I'm assessing what you've read, you need to do the thinking for me, and I need to see it in your words. So each of these answers should be about a paragraph long. You already have your first question that you'll need to answer. The second one is, how does the author develop a connection between the ideas of personal independence and pride? So do your best with what those words seem to mean and those phrases. I don't want to try to explain the question more. So just because, again, preparing for the iStep, you have to give your best guess based on the information that you're given and see how you can do. And the very last one is to explain the significance of Ove's house in the story. Support all of these things with the details from the text. Have fun racing!